I don't remember having many conversations at home about healthy sexuality, about my the changes that were going to be happening with me as a young girl. I don't remember having any of those conversations at home until I maybe thought it was too late.
Oh, my first experience with healthy sexuality education was in middle school, in 7th and 8th grade, in a trailer during PE time with a really uncomfortable and sweaty PE teacher who didn't want to be there, and a bunch of middle school kids who didn't want to be there. And I had obviously learned a lot from my peers before that point.
I don't think I had classes in school until middle school or high school even, and my conversations with my parents were very awkward and uncomfortable.
I had a very forward-thinking mother, so I grew up with somebody who talked to me from a very early age about all kinds of issues about, you know, my body, my sexuality, sex in general. All my friends would always come over to my house for sleepovers because everyone wanted to talk to my mom, you know.
My first introduction was probably my older brother's Playboy magazine stash in their bathroom. It was a huge pile. And I also had some health education, they called it, in high school, which was taught by the football coach, this grizzly older man who was talking about like pads and menstruation, and my girlfriends and I could hardly even look at him. It was so odd. And then, you know, what we learned from friends, and not a lot of conversations really with my parents so much.
And I think that education about all of those tricky things should start early and safe and simple, and expand from there. And as situations get more complicated and children are exposed to a little bit more mature ideas, then you have a scaffolding in place to address those, rather than just, hey, let's just wait until there's a major issue and then we'll address it after the fact.
I think there's a lot of fear about the teaching of sexuality, especially at early ages.
Don't be afraid of this, because, you know, because of how some parents were raised and how some families talk about sex and families and who makes up families, some people are really very apprehensive about this. And, you know, what is my child going to learn, and is it going to be, you know, appropriate? Is it going to mesh with what I want my child taught? And I would say to them, don't be afraid of this. Embrace this program, because this is the best of the best. This is talking about things that your children need to know in a way and in an age when it just becomes naturally part of their understanding of themselves. And it's kind of teaching kids about sex ed without them even really knowing that they got it. But they do.
It's interesting. It's not scary. It makes them feel empowered, I think.
Yeah, because they can talk about whatever's on their mind, and it's all perfectly normal at this point.
There's nothing in the curriculum that's going to corrupt them. It's really about getting them comfortable and comfortable speaking about their sexuality so that they can lead happy and healthy lives.
I think it's the best type of education that either of my daughters could ever have. I wish every child had this opportunity, because I just feel so strongly that this is so important.